This is our Christmas end of term, end of 2020 Pilates class. Let's start off as we normally start off. Take a breath in. Try and get my position. Shoulders are up and back down. Take a breath in. I'm a bit jangly today. My jumper's jangly and my earrings are jangly. But it is Christmas and jingle bells. Shoulders are up. How are you getting on with your Christmas preparations? Take a breath in. Breathing out. Shoulders are up and have the hands in the direction and bring them forward. Take a breath in. Lift eyebrows, pelvic floor, and breathing out. Take a breath in and breathing out. Good. 2 more. You guys, you look so lovely. I wish you could see yourselves. Bend the knees very gently. That's it. We've had enough of that. Worn the hat for a minute. That'll do. Swing the arms more vigorously. I suppose they could just fall off. 2 more. Last one. Take the hands up to the side. The shoulders up, back, and down. Chin nodded, ears in line with the shoulders. Think about how you're standing. Standing tall, lengthening through the spine. Lift the crown of the head towards the ceiling. Again, shoulders back and down, chins nodded. Being aware of the neck. We know the neck can come forward and it can come back, but only part of it. Some of it is fused, solid. So I'll keep the whole neck in line. Make the triangle with your hand. Heel of your hands on your hips. Fingers on the pubic bone. Bend the knees. Tilt the pelvis forward and back. So from the side, it looks here. My tendency is just to hang here, which feels comfy for me. So I'm still having to tell myself to tuck under. For me, to tuck under becomes my neutral. Ideally, the pubic bone, hip bone, vertical plane. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, draw your navel away from your hand, cling up on the pelvic floor, bracing the upper abdominals. Release halfway, release halfway. Sway forward and back. The legs are straight. How far forward can you sway without falling over? How far back can you sway without falling over? And then again, come somewhere in the middle. So you've got on the ball of the feet, a heel, wiggle the toes, send me a secret message by your toes, semaphore. Let the feet roll in, roll out, and then come back somewhere in the middle. So we're keeping that rib-hip connection. We're going to lift your heel from the floor, bend the knee, but you're keeping the pelvis level. We're trying not to move through the body, lifting one heel at a time. I should see no movement through your body. Foot pedals. We can then come up onto your toes. Imagine there's a drawing pin or broken glass underneath your heels. Try not to let your heels touch the floor. Also, what we're thinking about is the pelvis. We're trying not to push through here. And this is my favourite bit. It makes me smile. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Because it makes you think. Opposite arm. Oh, guys, you're being too good. There's nothing for me to laugh at. Actually, some of you are doing the same side. Opposite arm, opposite leg. I am having a little smile to myself, but I'm laughing with you, not at you. If I walk around your living room now, and some people on Monday, they were still kind of leg. Naturally swing your arms. Just swing how you normally would swing them. So then you naturally do opposite arm, opposite leg. But the fact that I've told you to do it, Alan, I'm sure you don't really walk around like that normally. Maybe he does. I don't know. I have to look out for him in Dew Stoke. When you finish, come back and see me again. Come back and see me. So now that same principle applies. So keeping that rib-hip connection. Brace, brace. We're going to lift one knee without it coming into the core muscles. And back down. Good. And then back down again. So the whole idea is that we're not bending forward, we're not flexing through the spine. That's the exaggeration. We're trying to keep that back in line. Good. So you can leave that knee high, keep that knee high. Close your eyes, hold your balance. Can you feel that ankle moving all over the place? And back down again, other leg. Lift the knee. Close your eyes. Can you hold your balance? That side. So you might be better balanced one side, normal. Sometimes we're better for more flexible one side. We're stronger one side than the other. Not always the side that you're right-handed or left-handed. Let's lift opposite hand, opposite leg. Straighten out that leg. Flex the foot. Come behind. Come into a T shape here. Some of you would be happy to come down, touch the floor, lift that leg. Gorgeous. And then come back up again. That's it. Then change to the side. Opposite hand, opposite leg. Straighten out that leg. Flex the foot. Bring that foot towards you. Keep that body rigid. Hinge forward from the hip. Bring the hands down if you wish. That's a bit quicker than I intended. And then come back up to standing. Out to the side. We can then let that foot just hover. That might be your balance. Otherwise we can come down. I think actually we have done this where we held each other's feet. And that looks great on the screen. If you lift your leg, so it looks like you're holding each other's feet. Yeah. And back. Other side. Hold that position. We can then lower down. I can quietly cheat and hold onto the wall here, but I won't. How low can you go? And ideally, your arm and your leg are in line with each other. And back again. Good, so we've worked on your balance. It's got me out of breath. How can that be? Have the feet a little bit wide in the hip. Let's go into strength work. So we're going to do our hip hinge first and then come into your squat. If you do your deep squat, do your deep squat. I need to lift my heels for this. If you can do your deep squat and you don't need to lift your heels, please do. If your knees don't like it, just go down as far as your knees will allow. Push the pressure off the knees if they're sore. So you can go all the way down, all the way up, all the way down, all the way up. Good. Take a breath in and breathing out. So for me to keep my heels down, I have to have my knees wider, which kind of leaving Pilates behind really. So different, that's a strength conditioning thing. You're good, 5 more. All the way down. All the time keeping the spine in neutral. I've got a big dilemma in my house. I've lost my dustpan and brush. How can that be? Good. All the way down, halfway. So we're going to go all the way down and halfway up. So all the way down, or as low as you can manage, halfway up. All the way down, halfway up. All the way down, halfway up. All the way down, halfway up. 5 more. That's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come to that. Heels down, 90 degrees. Clench the buttocks now. Make it a glute exercise. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. The body's parallel. 4, 3. Don't let your shoulders come down too low. Another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. It's called a monkey squat. Can you see why? Could you feel that working? I've got to keep you going for quite a few weeks over Christmas. Like I said, I'll send out emails with links to classes for the last couple of weeks because I didn't send out any from last week or the week when I didn't have internet. Watch out for that. Change the leg. Good. Shake out the legs there. Good, so we're looking at balance just now. So that was more quad dominant. Let's do this as more glutes, back of thigh dominant. So we can have the feet hip width apart as always. Bring one foot back just a little bit. Push the hips back. People have got sore knees. This is a joy because it's more the back line of the body. Push the hips, push the knee back. So you're hardly bending that knee at all. So you should be able to wiggle the toes. Put all the pressure through the heel of that front foot. Ready? 10, 9, 8. If you feel it on your knees, push the knees back. That's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it down. 10, 9. We're going to play with this a little bit. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it low. Hold on to something now if you need to. I really don't mind. This is more strength and balance. Hold on to something if you need to. That leg's going to come behind. Ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. To the side. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Bring that leg forward. How low can you go? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Say, yeah, baby, yeah. So you should feel that in the glutes more. Let's turn the other direction. If you need to stretch, stretch. Bring that foot back, hip back, knee back. All the pressure's on that heel of that front foot. Push the heel into the floor. Ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inch lower. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring that leg behind. Hold on to something if you need to. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Leg to the side. 10, 9, 8, 7. Hands free. So hold on to something if you need to. 4, 3, 2. Bring that leg forward. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, you should be feeling that here. Let's do our stretch. 10th of December. Where has this year gone? Change the side. How low can you go? Well done. Good. Shake out the legs. So give the legs a rest. We're going to do some roll downs and then we're going to follow it in. We're going to link in with some planks. End of term, end of year medley. 20 years. What's the word for decade? 2 decades. So we're going to do some, I'm just thinking then. It's always dangerous, isn't it? Here, I've got the wall. So I can, if my feet are forward, I can tuck my chin and I'm going to roll away from the wall. So you can imagine you've got the wall behind you. Where is the wall? Say behind you. So if I imagine I've got that wall behind me, tucking the chin. If your back is painful or sore, just do a partial roll down. Or you walk your hands up and down your legs or do a supported cat stretch. Rise up onto your toes. stretch here. Bend the knees, tuck in the chin, roll down through. So for some of you, you won't like the roll downs to planks, and you can stay down and wait for me to catch you up. So you don't. Let's just do 2 more roll downs. Tuck in the chin. Restep vertebra, one on top of the other. Rise up onto your toes. Big stretch. I keep thinking, how come I've not done Pilates with a Christmas tree before this week? Because we've never had COVID before, and I've never done classes from home until this year. Restack. Rise onto your toes, big stretch up towards the ceiling. So I'm going to start bringing that in the planks now. See how your back feels. Stay down. Wait for me. It's going to be pick and mix. It's end of term medley finale. We're going to tuck in the chin, roll down through, walk out your hands onto your elbows if you prefer. The right leg goes out, stays there onto the floor. Left leg's still on the floor. Left leg goes back in, and then the right. Left leg goes out, and then the right. We're doing the okey cokey. Out, out, in, out, out, in. Or just hold plank, hold hands and knees plank. Well done. Make sure your bottom comes down a bit. Make sure Alan, your bottom could do with coming down a bit. Sorry, I have to name and shame. One more each side. Out, out. That's perfect. Perfect plank. You are a perfect plank, Alan. Walk the hands back in again. You don't get many people telling you that, do you? Rolling up to stand. And actually the roll down plank, standing up, it does help with your flexibility. And relax. Let's just do, excuse me. Non-COVID cough. Talking too much cough. Walking to roll down. Walking at the hands. Onto your elbows if you prefer. Knee to chest. We'll do 5 aside. But so for some people, you can do the hands and knees, just hold plank here. You could just hold plank 3/4 here. I'm really happy for that. So knees to chest. When you've done your 5 aside, if you fancy a few cheeky extra, I think 5's not enough, Lynn Joyner. You can then walk your hands back in again. Rolling up. I'm on my hands just because if I'm on my elbows, my jumper sticks into my elbows and the carpet gives me carpet burn. Say ah and relax. Let's do a roll down again. Tuck in the chin, knees slightly bent, walk out your hands. So from here, we can go into leg lift. Lift a leg. That's a glute strength one as well. Or just hold plank. Yvonne, can you bring your bottom down a bit more back? That's it, stomach tight. Lift your head. Make sure the head's not dipping, guys. But don't let it go into your back. When you've done your 5 aside, I've got no idea. Walk the hands back in again. I rely on you guys. Yeah, just watching Yvonne then. Walk your hands up your legs if you need to, especially if you've had disc issues in the past. Rise up onto your toes. Close your eyes. Hold your balance. Just a chance there. Circle the shoulders. Let's do roll down, and we're going to do some rotation now. Tuck in the chin, roll down through. Again, so for some of you, I'm really happy for you to be on your knees and thread the needle. So if you want to do the hands and knees, Hazel, you can do that with your hand on your chair. Otherwise, just do external rotation in your full plank. Go da-dum. That could be done on your elbows if you prefer. 3 more each side. When you're finished, walk the hands back in again. We are now going to do a finale. We're going to repeat it 3 times because it's 3 kings. Try and keep it on theme. 3 wise men. We've got 2 wise men here today. We've got Stephen and Alan. Make sure there's nobody I haven't missed out. I haven't missed out a man, have I? Which one's carrying the gold? Which one's carrying frankincense? Who's carrying the myrrh? Let's now do a bit of everything. Yeah, if you want to go onto your elbows, please do. Pick and mix, do the bits that you like. So we're going to roll down. So we're going to combine a couple. Knee to chest, lift the leg. Other leg, knee to chest, lift the leg. Okie dokie. Out, out, in, in. Out, out, in. Rotate, rotate. That's the first set. Second set. Knees to chest, lift the leg. Knees to chest, lift the leg. Okie dokie. Out, out, in. Out, out, in. Rotate outwards. Rotate outward. Last set. Knee to chest, lift the leg. Knee to chest, lift the leg. Okie dokie. Out, out, in. Out, out. External rotation. External rotation. And then rest it there. Come into your shell stretch or lie on your back and hug your knees. Oh, Hazel came back up to standing then. She's keen. Oh no, it wasn't Hazel. Steve, or Helen, I think. Come into your shell stretch or hug your knees, lying on your back. Bring your hands by your side. Let's go into child pose. Rest those wrists. As we know, it's good for our wrists anyway to be loaded. Well done. Get your breath back. We can then lie on our front with your forehead on your hand. Just change the camera angle. So you can lie on your front with your forehead on your hand, have a snooze. Good. Inhale deeply in and out through the nose. Completely relax. As you inhale, feel the rib cage come into the floor. It makes the rib cage, the lungs expand widthways. And feel the back expand, the back of the rib cage. Feel the lungs to make the rib cage expand. Inhale deeply as you can. Feel those rib cages moving and expand. Inhale deeply. As you exhale, feel the ribcage deflate, feel the stomach muscles lift, pelvic floor lift. Inhale deeply. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Have your hands in a W position. Inhale, lift the head and chest. Exhale to lower. Inhale. Exhale, breathe in first. Come up to a full swan dive. And then come back down. Breathing out to lift to a full swan dive. See how your backs feel with that. We're going to go through all the different angles with the shoulders today for our snow angel. I've just remembered an exercise that I'd forgotten, but we'll come back to that in a second. It's nice to have given the arms a rest actually. Hands by your side. Lift the shoulders, lift the arms, lift the head. Breathe out to lift, breathing in to return. So that's your dart, we're familiar with that. Stay high with the arms, pulse with the arms. Try not to pinch the low back. If you do, go a bit lower. Ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The arms can come at 45 degrees like Concord. 10, 9. Still lift the shoulders. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hands are at T shape, capital T, but it's no higher than shoulders, as in that horizontal vertical plane. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. The final one is bring the arms above your head, not this or stay at the angle that suits you. Now we do opposite arm, opposite leg. That's 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's that lovely working diagonally through the body, the back line of the body, stretching the front of the body. Come to your hands and knees. Let's do our cat stretcher again. Hands on your chair if you want to, Hazel. Do your cat stretch. Let the back dip, look up. And then tuck under. There. Good. Again, come into your shell stretch. Bring right hand over to left. That's it. And you can bring your left hand over to your right. Lovely. So this might be the time when you get your resistance bands out. So I'll show you what I'm going to do in a moment. But if you know your shoulders are uncomfortable or sore, can you go on and do this one? So the shoulder press here, either with your blue band or your purple band. So that's the easier version of the shoulders I'm going to do. So if you don't like what I'm going to do next, so you need to be on your knees though, Caroline, because the band's not long enough. Or sit on a chair and do it. Oh, she's on her knees. Your legs look really long now. I think it's Zoom. It makes my legs look longer, that's for sure. So have a look at this one. This is what I'm going to ask you to do, but use the band if you want to. So I've got my shoulders over my hand, and I'm going to do a shoulder press here. It's like doing a handstand press up. Those of you that are stronger can have your feet up on the chair or a sofa and do your press ups here. Off you go, 20 of each. Whether your feet are up on the sofa, on the floor, that's it. Lovely. It's a tough one. So, Hazel, you need to be, I would do it with I sit on the chair and do it with the bands, otherwise you're doing a press up. And that's coming in a minute. Giving the game away now. Julie, you want your bottom much higher than your shoulders. Much higher, feet much closer. Because you want that vertical angle. It is a tough one. It is tough. Yeah. It's tough enough with the bands, isn't it? Yeah, do it with the bands otherwise. But no, brilliant. You had to go. You need your hands much closer to your feet, Steve. Otherwise, it's a press up. It's a press up. Your hands need much closer to your feet. You want, have a look, guys. You want this vertical angle here. Caroline, just do one arm at a time. If you sit down on your heels a bit more, if you want to make it easier. Yeah, because really I'd like to see that arm straight or go as high as that shoulder will let you. Yeah. Oh, that's tough, isn't it? Do shoulder raises if you prefer. Shoulder raises with a band. Yeah, are we happy with that? The leg version, try the leg version of that. Even people with the shoulder, even people who've got shoulders. People that, if your shoulders are okay with this next one. So this one is same position, downward dog, but now your knees come down to the floor and straighten back up again. And again, that can be done with the feet on the sofa, knees down to the floor and back up again. So that's pure, more for legs. 20 of those. If you hate it, do some more squats. So think downward dog, the hands are quite close to the feet. Yeah, tough on the wrist. It's good for the wrist though, Julie. Grr. That's it. The knees to floor and back up again. And then when you've rested, let's just rest the wrists. I've done that one out of sync. We are going to have to go back onto wrists again. Do we need to? Yeah, because I might forget otherwise. Let's come back to push-ups, shall we? Don't let me forget push-ups. I'm being really kind instructor. So don't let me forget push-ups at the end, you know, like that to remind me. Is that yes, Lynn? Promise? Because I'm the instructor that cares, remember? Let's sit tall. You wouldn't want to miss out on doing our push-ups, would we? Say no, Lynn. Tuck the tailbone under and then come up to that seated position. Tuck under, purely lower back. It's a nice stretch actually for the lower back. We just wouldn't want to stay in that position for too long. It does feel comfy. Comfy. Come back. Can we go any further? Stomach tight, 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 tight. Holding in, check. The six-pack goes from the pubic bone up to the breastbone, and it's held in by the transverse abdominis, your natural corset, and it's that we want working more to hold everything in. Pelvic floor. So some of you will be able to come down to the floor, but it's not a competition. That's not the aim of the exercise. The aim of the exercise is to hold it all in through that range. We can come up to seated position. Some of you will be able to stretch forward, but not if you've got issues with discs. I'm going to roll down through. Go down as far just before your heels start to lift. So for some of you, that's going to be here, and then come back up. And that's really absolutely fine. So don't become competitive. It's not so bad on Zoom. Remember in the class situation, people definitely become competitive. Reach forward if your back is fine with it. So this would come on to one of the Joseph Pilates originals, where you roll back. But again, this isn't for everybody. If you've got bad neck, you've got issues with your discs, don't do it. You can then bring the leg down. And sit tall. So tight, 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 tight. But just to show you how the original moves link together, that's your rollover. It's like the reverse curl. It trains us towards that. So we're trying to avoid momentum there. 2 more. So just roll back otherwise. You don't have to do the whole thing. So if you use momentum, you're not really using the stomach muscles as much. which is why I do the knees bent. And then we can stay lying on our back with the knees bent, hip width apart. Some of you might need a towel, cushion underneath your head. Keeping that chin nodded. So we've worked the whole abdominal wall by doing those roll backs. Let's now just do upper body, hands behind your head, relaxing around the neck and the shoulders. Elbows are forward, breathing in, breathing out. Brace the abdominals, pelvic floor. Feel it all closing in, curling up. Ready, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, that's 3, 2. Hold it high. Ready, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it high. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold it high. Side bend. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Other side. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest it there. Good. So that's more upper body, lower body. Place your hands on your hip bones. Place the fingers just inside. Prod deep. Brace the abdominals. Lift your right foot about a millimetre from the mat. And take it back down. Other side. And take it back down. Feel those deep muscles switching on. Brace, brace. Fingers on your hips, thumbs on your rib cage. Brace. Right leg to tabletop. Feel the lower back touch the mat. Left leg to tabletop. Without any shift. The left leg goes down. And then the right. Left leg to tabletop. Brace, brace. Right leg to tabletop. Right leg goes down. And then the left. Right leg to tabletop. Left leg to tabletop. Hold it here. So from here, do those reverse curls. It's part of training towards those rollovers as we did just now, some of us. But guys, don't swing your legs. It's not a leg exercise. It's a stomach exercise, and it's bringing the muscles of between your hips and your ribs, and it's bringing your hips closer to your ribs. The ribs stay static, and it's the hips that are doing the work. Some muscles are doing the work between your ribs and your hips. The legs come along for the ride. Hold them in that position. Tilt it as far as you can, and then do little ones from there. Ready, 10, 9, lift up body if you want to. Make it harder. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Keep that tension on there, and then we can do our heel taps, but I'm not expecting you to touch the floor. I'd rather you keep that tension between the ribs and the hips. So that keep that ribs and hip distance the same. Keep that tension on here. Support your head. Head can be down on the floor. Up to you. Stomach tight, tight, tight. Heel taps. Again, I'd rather you don't touch the floor. Sometimes I see people when they arch their back because they're trying to touch the floor with their feet, defeating the object to keep the stomach tight. Now some of you, we can go into our single leg stretch, holding the back of the leg. Again, you can rest your head while you're doing these, and that's quite nice for people with sore back, so you're supporting that leg. It's my new favourite exercise. If it wasn't for Christmas, we'd be probably doing this one every week now. We can then push the outside of the leg into your hand. A bit of pressure on the outer thigh. We can then bring that leg and push your hand into the front of the thigh. Feel how that makes the stomach muscles work harder. Head down if you wish. And it still makes the stomach muscles work hard with your head down. This is my absolute favourite because I can feel that really working stomach muscles. If you're not feeling it, push harder. Let's do 5 more each side. We can do opposite side now. So it's 10, 9. Don't let me hurry you. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest at that big stretch. Hands as far away from your feet as you can. We can then, you've been scrunched up in a little ball. Let's stretch you out. Stretch those hips. Bring the feet back in again. Tuck a tailbone under. Push the hips up towards the ceiling. Bring the arms overhead. Roll down through the spine, especially that lower back. And come back to start position. Let's repeat that one. Tuck under, lift. So ideally see a line from your knee to your shoulders, arms overhead. Roll down through. 2 more. Tuck under, clench the buttocks, lift. Bring the hands overhead. Roll down through. Last one. Lift. Well done. Take it down through. We're going to add a variation to this one, those that want to. Otherwise, stay with the one that suits you. We're going to reach diagonally over our shoulder. So you get some rotation in through there as well. Those of you that want to work harder, on your hands, pushing up through the hips. 4 more each side. Yeah, quite tough on the arms, that one. Choose your level, whether you're on your hands overhead, or whether you're on the floor reaching over, or whether you're doing straightforward shoulder bridges there. When you finish, come up to seated position and hug your knees so I can see that you're all finished. I like that, Alan. He uses his legs to swing himself up. Hug your knees to chest. So we're going to do a Joseph Pilates type, excuse me, original eggs. I'll try and calm down. I realise I talk too fast, I get too excited. Let's do a Joseph Pilates original again. This leg pull. So now seated position, even wristy people, this should be okay. If it's not, your hands can go outwards actually, which might help. Point, flex. Point, flex. It's like a hamstring stretch really. It's the closest we get to ballistic stretch, which we're not allowed to do anymore. I'm sure it's going to come back into fashion. Point, flex. Quite like that one. If you want to make that one harder, we can lift, point, flex. A wrist-free option is on your back, point, flex. So that's another option there. 4 more each side, whatever your option is. Lovely. Ankle mobility as well. In a shoulder bridge position though, Alan. Have your feet bring your feet in the shoulder bridge position and do that one. It looks nice. Lift your hips, now do it. 2 more each side for Alan, otherwise he's going to miss out. But that leg is straight, guys. Yes. Good. Let's do some work. Yeah, hug your knees when you're finished again. Rest, stretch. So that's a great one for strengthening the glutes, stretching the hamstrings, strengthening the hamstrings, depending on which one you did. Let's come and do some side leg series. So we're going to lie on our side, have the cushion between your head and your arm. Those are people with shoulders are sore. You can bring your arm forward rather than having it overhead. So this is working outer thigh, inner thigh. So lie with the cushion between your head and your arm. Look down your body. Normally I'd say line yourself up with your mat to make sure that you're all in line. Sway forward, sway back. Hips vertically, one on top of the other. So make sure you haven't rolled forward or rolled back. Lift that lowest rib. Both feet, bring the feet towards you as the legs are straight. Internally rotate that leg. Lift that top leg. Point the toe to lift. Flex the foot to lower. We're doing 10 if I lose count. Point to lift. Flex to lower. Breathe out to lift. Breathe in to lower. It's the exercise that counts. See people getting very adventurous with this one. It's not that exciting. So no, only just higher than your hips. And you'll see why in a moment. Straightforward hip abduction. Outer thigh. Top leg lifts. Bottom leg lifts to come and meet it. Feet forward you and down. Top leg, point the toe. Bottom leg, flex the feet and down. Top, bottom, towards you and down. Breathe in for the first leg. Breathe out for the second leg. Breathe in to bring the feet. Breathe out. 4 count breath. Just breathe in. 2 seconds. Good, good. Outer thigh, inner thigh, waist. I'm trying to count to 10 on my fingers. Make sure you've done your 10. When you've done your 10, she says, as a cop out, keep both legs high, bring the feet towards you, and pulse it there. Ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. See how you feel the next one, especially if you've got back issues. The lower leg's going to rest. The top leg, see how far forward you can bring it, but keeping it straight. And then how far back. Especially when it goes behind us, sometimes we lose track and we can't really feel it. Locking out the knees. But just feel those muscles working around the hip as they go through their full range of motion there. Fantastic joint, deep socket generally. Some people's are shallow, but it enables us to move the legs in all directions. So it becomes front of the hip, and then it comes back of the glutes there all the time. Outer thighs working to keep that leg lifted. How exciting is that? Give it a slap, give it a rub. We're now going to come up onto our elbows for side bridge. If that's uncomfortable for you, lift both legs together. So onto our elbows. My top leg is straight, both legs. You could just lift that waist. That might be for you. Otherwise, lift the hip. There's 10, 9, 8, hip up and down, 7, 6, 5, 4, push out that shoulder, 3, 2, hold it high, top leg, straight forward abduction, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, whoa. Give it a slap, give it a rub. Let's come on to the other side. So lying down, side leg series 1. Shoulders are down, sway forward, sway back. come somewhere in the middle, lift that lowest rib, push the hip away, top leg point, flex, and down. Side leg series 1. Good. Well done. Next level, top leg, bottom leg, flex, and lower. Top leg, bottom leg. Lovely. Top leg. Five more. Top leg. That's it. Keep both feet towards you. Ready? 10, up and down. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Rest that lower leg. Top leg's going to come forward and back. Ready? 10, 9. So just feel it through that range of it. Make sure back sore. Don't bring it so far forward. If it's too sore for your knees, for your hips, just have the legs bent or just do straightforward clam. 5 left. Good. Yeah. Give it a slap. Give it a rub. Let's come up onto our elbows. Push out the shoulders. We can lift that hip. Ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, or lift both legs if you didn't like that one. 5, 4, 3, pick a number. 2, 1. Stay high, top leg. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Give it a slap. Give it a lying on our backs. Ankle across your knee. Let that knee open out. And gently push the knee into your hand. Quite a lot of hip work. Glute strengthening. The big one at the back. Glute max. Glute medius at the side. Good for stabilizing our hips. Bring the other leg towards you for your stretch. Change to the side, ankle across the knee, let that knee open out. Gently push the knee into your hand. And bring that leg towards you for your stretch. I haven't forgotten the press-ups. Come on. Let's rested our shoulders. Everything's been rested. Come onto your front. Up to you. Whether you do your hands and knees push-up. But I'm looking for depth now. We're looking for the depth all the way down. Last week I quite liked it when we did it on the chair, because you can do your 4 push-ups, or as close as you can get, but that easier angle of using the chair or the sofa. What I'm looking for eventually is that full push-up all the way to the floor and back. Next Christmas maybe, off you go, 20 press-ups, but we're looking for depth. So those of you who can't bend the arms very much, try go on the chair. Go on the chair and try it with the legs straight. Make sure these heads don't dip. Julie, just lift your head slightly for me, please. Yvonne, lift your head, please. Keeping the neck in line. When you've done your 10, rest it and I'll give you an option. So Caroline, if you bring your shoulders forward a little bit, please. Yeah. It's harder, but it's better for your shoulders. So your option then would be, especially people on the floor, to do a full push-up, but can you go all the way down to the floor and then go back up any old way you like on these? Just try it. If it's too much for you, please carry on as you are. Do what suits you and your body. Push-ups against the wall if you prefer. I'm really happy from the press-ups against the wall. I wait to the end to say that. Yes, lovely. Yeah. Get your body used to being at that lower level. Stomach tight. It's still a core exercise. It's a dynamic plank. It's tough. It's well done, Julie. I'm loving. I can't see what Helen's up to. She's hidden. Yeah, elbows. Yeah, it is tough. Yeah, so then in that case you would modify it to suit your joints. Stretch the stretch here. It's time for some relaxation. So you can lie on your back, lie on your front. What I would recommend is lying on your back with your legs up on the chair or sofa, just because it's so gorgeous for the back. Just take the pressure. So I've got my feet up on the sofa there, and I brought my body quite close to the yoga guys who actually have their legs up against the wall. If you want to do that, that's absolutely fine. And just have a snooze. So deep breaths. Inhale deeply through the rib cage and exhale. Breathe in deeply. We will go a bit over time if you need to go. That's absolutely fine. I won't be offended. Deep breaths in and out through the nose so thoroughly relax. Closing your eyes. It's a bit of tricky there this year. Lots of emotive language used in the press and on the news of stay safe and all the figures that they've given, all the statistics. I'm guessing it's to bring it home to us to take all the precautions seriously, but I can't help thinking they've engendered a lot of fear in people and anxiety and worry. Now Christmas is coming, it's got new anxieties and worries of its own. So this is good to take some time out. I'm doing it for myself as well. Anytime you've got any anxious thoughts, write them down, journal them, get them out of your system. 10 minutes every day. It doesn't have to make sense. Nobody's going to read them. If anybody's made you stressed or cross or angry, write them a letter. They never need to see it, but you can then burn it. You've just got it out of your system. It's just trying to relax the nervous system down. I haven't used it as much as I should. And apps, there's lots of apps you can use. What makes you relax, whether it's listening to music, taking a walk, just put yourself first sometimes. Inhale deeply. We're going to scan through the body, just making a note from the feet up to the knees, and your legs, the body itself, your hands, your shoulders, your head. Gently push the back of the shoulders into the mat. Or squeeze your shoulder blades together if you're lying on your front. Gently push the back of your head into the mat. Take some deep breaths. I'm going to give you a minute's silence. I'll time it on the phone and everything. A minute's not long enough, is it? Wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, come onto your side, come onto your hands and knees, come into downward dog. Bring the feet in towards your hands, slowly walk your hands up your legs. Coming up, just take your time coming up. We've been down for a long time. Reaching up towards the ceiling. Circle the shoulders. Yeah, I like the hats going back on again. Circle the wrists. Circle the ankles. Let's put my hat back on. Let's not worry about my hair. Let's not be so vain. I'm happy to stay on for a chat if you need to. Have a happy Christmas, happy New Year, and let's see what 2021 brings.
Right. Thanks, Lynn.
You're most welcome.